I haven't got the copyright for this, and my theme tune that I've done for this hasn't worked, so here it goes, right? Me theme about history to me
History.
theme a theme about history to
History.
it's not magical or mysterious, but it is a history to
History.
Hi there, thanks for joining me on video number 3. This was a lovely ride out where I went from my home to the site of the Battle of Newburn Ford, which is 5.5 miles from Newcastle city centre. Then I went up to Heading on the Wall, a village just over 7 miles west of Newcastle. When I set off, I intended to take the Wylam Wagonway to Wylam from my home, and I wasn't even going to shoot any video for this particular ride, but once I got to Newburn and stumbled upon the site of a historic battle, I couldn't resist. This is the site of a very significant battle in the history of Great Britain. As you can see, there are placards showing the story of the battle, information on the preparations of both sides, as well as the local political situation at the time. There's also a map of the battlefield showing the English and Scottish positions when battle commenced, and there's also one showing the weaponry of the time, and there you can see my bike as well. So the Battle of Newburn Ford took place early on the morning of the 28th of August 1640. 4,500 English troops had been dispatched to cover the ford at Newburn and were positioned on the south side of the river, close to what is now Bladen Industrial Estate. The English had constructed 2 fortifications where they planted artillery and awaited the Scottish approach. The forts were poorly sighted, and the Scots took up a commanding position on the rising ground to the north of the river, from which they bombarded the forts and supporting cavalry. Their swift and destructive attack and high numbers of approximately 20,000 defeated the ill-prepared English troops below. That's a rock at the site as well. I'm not sure what that signifies, but I'm sure it's important. You can see the bridge there in the distance, which is the actual site of the Newburn Ford. You can also make out the position of the fortifications on the south side of the river there to the right. And there's also some rowers passing by. I might do a video on rowers because I'm really interested in that. Anyway, back to the Battle of Newburn Ford. This was the only battle of the Second Bishops' War, but it was of great political significance because 2 days after the battle, the city of Newcastle was surrendered to the Scots. King Charles I was obliged to recall Parliament, which refused to fund his war against the Scots, and further parliamentary demands then led ultimately to the Civil War and the formation of the Commonwealth of England, which was ruled as a republic. As I continued up the track towards Wylam, I found a station house, but no station. I looked into it and found that the station was Heading on the Wall Station. The station was opened in July 1881 by the Scotswood, Newburn and Wylam Railway Company, and it closed on the 15th of September 1958. So for 77 years, the station served Heading on the Wall, about a mile in that direction. As I continued, I saw a sign for the Hadrian's footpath and decided to follow it. You can see up there, straight ahead is Heading on the Wall, which is where I'm going now, via this track that will take me up to a height of 142 meters above sea level to Heading on the Wall, which was some climb. I had to sit down for 5 minutes, but the descent was worth it. Famous for being built alongside Hadrian's Wall, Heading on the Wall was also the not-so-welcome source of the foot-and-mouth outbreak back in 2001. As you can see, the 142-metre climb paid off with the company of a couple of horses as I stopped to film this on the descent. This is the view the Scots had on the day before battle when Alexander Leslie, the Scottish general, camped at Heading on the Wall and could easily see the English preparing defences on the day before battle. In the distance there, you can see Pontop Pike Transmission Station, which is 149 metres tall, and it's 8.5 miles away. So you can see the Scots from this vantage point had a brilliant view. And as I scroll, as we pan across towards Newcastle, we can see there we have the Leamington Glassworks cone with the A1 traffic passing behind it. So as I mentioned, what a vantage point we've had as a Scottish general, and to think I ended up here by accident. And there we have the Newburn Bridge, which is the site of the actual battle. So yeah, get yourselves out there. The track's on Strava. Cheers. Bye bye.